a daring escape straight out of a Hollywood thriller, an automotive titan on the run, and a mysterious flight to freedom. This is the unbelievable story of Carlos Ghosn. Carlos Ghosn wasn't just a name in the automotive industry. He was a legend. From saving struggling companies to building one of the biggest alliances in the industry, his journey was nothing short of extraordinary. But what happens when the hero becomes the hunted? This is the story of his rise, fall, and escape that left the world in shock. Stick around as we uncover every twist and turn in this jaw-dropping saga. How did a young man from Lebanon rise to rule the global automotive industry? Let's dive into the making of Carlos Ghosn. Carlos Ghosn's life began in Porto Velho, Brazil, where he was born to Lebanese parents. His family's multicultural background deeply influenced his worldview. Raised in Beirut, he excelled academically and later attended the prestigious École Polytechnique in France, where he studied engineering. His career took off at Michelin, where he implemented cost-saving strategies that caught the attention of industry leaders. His big break came at Renault, where he turned the company's fortunes around by cutting costs and boosting efficiency, earning him the nickname Le Cost Killer. In 1999, Ghosn led Renault's acquisition of a controlling stake in Nissan, a company teetering on the brink of collapse. Under his leadership, Nissan became profitable within 2 years. By 2005, he was the CEO of both Renault and Nissan, a rare feat in the corporate world. His ability to bridge cultural and operational divides made him a legend. And by 2016, he had added Mitsubishi Motors to the alliance, creating a global powerhouse, from a boardroom king to a prisoner in Japan. What led to Carlos Ghosn's dramatic fall from grace? In 2018, Carlos Ghosn's empire began to crumble. Japanese prosecutors accused him of underreporting his income by tens of millions of dollars and misusing company assets. These allegations stemmed from internal whistleblowers at Nissan, leading to his arrest in Tokyo. While detained, Ghosn denied all charges, claiming he was the victim of a corporate coup orchestrated by Nissan executives opposed to his plans for deeper integration with Renault. The timing of the allegations, just as he was planning a merger, raised eyebrows. Ghosn's dramatic arrest, pulled from his private jet and taken into custody, dominated headlines around the world. As the case unfolded, the spotlight also turned to Japan's legal system, known for its high conviction rates and prolonged detentions. Critics called it hostage justice, where suspects are pressured into confessing. For Ghosn, the stakes couldn't have been higher. Imagine living every moment under the watchful eyes of the authorities. For Carlos Ghosn, this was reality. After spending over 100 days in detention, Ghosn was released on bail, but under strict conditions. He was confined to his Tokyo residence, forbidden from using the internet, and monitored 24/7. Security cameras were installed at his home, and he was barred from seeing his wife, Carol Ghosn. The isolation took its toll. Unable to prepare his defense effectively and facing a prolonged legal battle, Ghosn grew increasingly desperate. His frustrations were amplified by Japan's slow-moving judicial process, which meant his trial could drag on for years. This wasn't just a legal fight. It was a battle for survival, a secret plot, a musical equipment case, and a private jet. The plan was audacious, and the stakes were sky-high. In December 2019, Ghosn executed one of the most daring escapes in modern history. The mastermind behind the operation was Michael Taylor, a former U.S. Green Beret, along with his son, Peter Taylor. The plan was meticulously crafted over months. On December 29th, Ghosn disguised himself as part of a music crew and hid inside a large black case typically used to transport audio equipment. This case, with Ghosn inside, was loaded onto a private jet at Kansai International Airport. Incredibly, the case was not subjected to X-ray screening due to its size, allowing Ghosn to evade security checks. The private jet flew to Istanbul, where Ghosn switched planes and continued to Lebanon. By the time Japanese authorities realized what had happened, Ghosn was already in Beirut, beyond their reach. Why did Carlos Ghosn choose Lebanon as his safe haven? The answer lies in his roots and the law. Lebanon has no extradition treaty with Japan, making it an ideal refuge for Ghosn. He held a press conference shortly after his arrival, declaring his innocence and accusing Nissan and Japanese prosecutors of conspiring against him. In Lebanon, Ghosn was received with mixed reactions. Some viewed him as a symbol of resilience, while others criticized him for fleeing justice. His life in Beirut has been relatively low-key, focusing on business ventures and defending his reputation. Every action has consequences, and Ghosn's escape sent shockwaves across the globe. The repercussions of Ghosn's escape were far-reaching. Japanese prosecutors arrested and extradited Michael and Peter Taylor, who were sentenced to prison for their roles in the escape. Nissan also faced scrutiny, with leadership changes and declining profits further destabilizing the company. The Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi alliance struggled to maintain its unity, with the scandal exposing deep cultural and operational rifts. Meanwhile, Ghosn's escape raised questions about Japan's airport security and legal procedures, forcing the country to re-examine its systems. Hero or villain? Carlos Ghosn's escape divided public opinion and captured global headlines. Media coverage of Ghosn's escape was extensive. Documentaries, books, and interviews explored every angle of the story. Netflix released a feature on the saga, and Ghosn himself penned a memoir detailing his side of the events. Public opinion remained divided. Some saw him as a corporate savior wronged by a corrupt system, while others viewed him as a billionaire using his resources to evade accountability. The story became a lightning rod for debates about justice, corporate ethics, and globalization. Was Ghosn's escape an act of defiance against injustice or a billionaire's way of dodging accountability? Critics of Japan's legal system pointed to its flaws, including prolonged detentions and limited rights for defendants. Ghosn's supporters argued that his escape was justified given the circumstances. On the other hand, skeptics questioned the ethics of his actions, noting that the allegations of financial misconduct were never fully addressed. The case remains a polarizing topic, sparking discussions on the balance between justice and personal liberty. What does life look like for a man who escaped one of the most secure legal systems in the world? Today, Carlos Ghosn resides in Beirut, where he continues to rebuild his life. He occasionally speaks at events and gives interviews, reiterating his innocence and criticizing Japan's legal system. Ghosn has also started consulting businesses and remains an influential voice in the automotive industry. His story, however, is far from over. Legal battles continue, and the world watches to see what's next for the man who defied the odds. Carlos Ghosn's story isn't just about one man's escape. It's a tale of ambition, betrayal, and the fight for freedom. Carlos Ghosn's journey from corporate legend to fugitive is a testament to the complexity of human ambition and resilience. Whether you see him as a victim or a villain, his story raises profound questions about justice, power, and the lengths one will go to for freedom. What's your take on Carlos Ghosn's escape? Let us know in the comments below.